Every Friday, I said this before the break, but folks know every Friday, generally, we have someone come on to talk about streaming films, and sometimes we have comedians on. And today we have someone who is, arguably, who's done some comedy work, and I think probably some people consider a comedian. But he's on a couple of shows that are funny. They're written by other people, but that's not the point. Well, no, I mean it's true. I'm not telling secrets out of
Seems like
school.
You're minimizing a little bit, but
Well, it's Bob's Burgers and Archer. They're not written by our next guest, but he does the voices on there very well. But he's not here today to talk about those things. He's here to talk about anti-Semitism because it turns out he also has a master's degree from Northwestern University in Holocaust Studies. Ladies and gentlemen, John Benjamin.
Thank you. Thanks for that.
In studio.
Thank you for that very eccentric introduction.
Well, I mean, I didn't think it was eccentric. I was just saying.
I know there was a lot to unpack in that, I guess, in the introduction.
Well, you do have a master's degree.
And some veiled. There's a lot veiled, wouldn't you say? Or some overt, but some veiled, insulting and just odd. But
That's not
honestly no. Let me. It was interesting, and I enjoyed it because I've been introduced a ton of times very positively, and it was nice to get one introduction that now I can remember for the rest of my life as being the oddest introduction I've ever gotten.
I was just explaining to people that generally we have on.
You said arguably a comedian. I guess that's true. I guess you're arguably a podcast host.
Well, I'm literally hosting a podcast, and so it's the.
So then it wouldn't be true what you said.
What's not true?
Well, you said arguably a comedian.
If I said that, I didn't mean it. I mean, you're sort of like a comedian.
So you didn't mean your introduction at all.
This is weird because I don't know why you're getting offended by this.
We don't have to.
No, I was simply trying to point out that generally we have comedians on in this slot.
You're doing it again. You're like, generally we have comedians on, but is that?
You're not coming on to do comedy.
I see.
You're coming on to talk about. I happen to be aware that you have a master's degree.
That is true.
In Holocaust studies, and
Yep.
you're coming on to talk about some of the dynamics associated with the way the Nazism rose to power in Germany, and talk about the current, sort of like phenomena of anti-Semitism. And I just didn't want people to get confused by the fact that you work on shows that are comedic in nature.
And written by other people, not by me. You pointed that out.
I mean, that is true too. Right? I mean, I don't understand why you would take offense to that.
It's just a weird thing to point out when you're introducing somebody to focus in on what that person doesn't do.
Well, I mean, I suppose if I brought somebody in who, to talk about a book that they didn't write, I would say that too. It's just that this is a dynamic.
Or would you say they didn't edit this?
What's that?
They didn't edit this book. They just wrote the drafts of it.
But if you brought in somebody,
that's not the dynamic at all. That it takes place on a cartoon. People laugh at.
Or if you brought in somebody who wrote
comedy, and I don't think it's right to deny the actual people who write the funny parts to not get credit. I'm not saying that you don't do your job well. I'm sure people feel that you do.
Well, the analogy would be if you brought in somebody who just wrote their first book, but you needed to point out that they haven't written another book yet.
But you didn't write any of the these shows, did you? I mean, if that's.
I actually have written 2 Bob's Burger scripts with Holly Schlesinger.
Okay, well, I'm sure those were funny. I didn't see them. I am not aware of them. I mean,
They were some of the weakest ones presented, but.
Okay, well then I don't understand why you're getting so uptight about this. We can't believe we spent this much time on it.
That was Holly's fault, not mine. That was not my fault.
I don't know why you would be doing this to her, but I mean, if that's what you want to do.
I did study Holocaust studies in the late 80s. So it's been a while. I've certainly dropped out. I arguably started
it's
doing comedy
Actually,
with you.
89, 90.
Arguably started doing comedy with you, who was arguably doing comedy at the time in the early 90s in Boston. And I think that would be corroborated by a lot of people that you were arguably doing comedy in the early 90s.
Well, I mean, that's yes, that's neither.
No, in
here
the
nor
sense that you were arguably doing it.
I mean, yeah, I guess I was arguably. I'm not that invested in any of that. Apparently, it's a sensitive spot for you. I apologize. I didn't mean to.
It's fine.
You know,
I mean, it's fine. It's who you are as a person.
I was just being accurate, and if maybe I was too accurate, or the truth is just a little bit, you're sensitive to it. That's
I'm not.
I
I'm
apologize.
Not. I'm not. I'm happy to be here.
Had no idea.
I'm not totally happy to be here, but I'm happy to be. I'm happy to be here.
Well, I mean, we're just as excited to have you here.
Well, anyway, yes, I did go to Northwestern for Holocaust studies. I think it was actually one of the first Holocaust studies programs, doctoral programs in the country.
And you dropped out, but that's not.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, well, that's fine. I left
was
law
like,
school as well,
I didn't
so
drop out. I was kind of like I was ushered
they
out.
asked you.
Ushered out.
They asked you to leave, but that's all right.
I wasn't
mean,
like
it's not-
ushered out, like they took me by my under my arms and led me to the door of the gate.
No one's suggesting that,
but
It
a
just
little
didn't-
bit like that.
It didn't work out, and so that's fine.
Yeah. But I do have sort of a background in that history, and it is a troubling moment now, I guess, when you look at what's happening in social media and what's happening on Twitter and other areas. I think that, yes, this is relevant now.
Okay, and you did your thesis on.
Sorry.
You did your thesis on Eichmann on the trains. What are you doing?
What do you mean? I'm listening
All right.
to you.
Do you want a mug for that?
No, I'm fine. I brought cans. But what, I'd not Eichmann in the trains. There's a camera on me, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, interesting.
What are you doing with that?
I'm here. I'm doing this thing with you, and I am having a drink because
What is that
I
on
brought-
the cover of that drink?
Oh, this? This is a Jazz Daredevil whiskey highball.
Wait a second. What? Is that real?
Yeah, this is a real drink. It's a whiskey. You want to try one?
No.
I was just thirsty because I came over here. I came from Park Slope, so I came on the subway, and then I had to walk from.
You were thirsty, and so you're drinking a whiskey highball. It's 1 p.m. in the afternoon.
Well, it's hydrating. A whiskey highball is basically club soda with a little whiskey in it.
Well, I'm familiar with what that is, but isn't the Jazz Daredevil?
Well, it's a club soda actually with organic
Wait,
minerals.
isn't that Jazz Daredevil thing the thing that you did where you were like? I mean,
Oh, it is
lot
a
of people-
character I did. I don't want to, we don't have to get off track about that, but it's a character I did. Like I made an album in 2015, but
I
obviously
know. I
I'm
remember
not here
there was
to.
a lot of musicians who were really upset by that because of how bad you were at it.
Well, not many people were upset. It was a joke, and I think some people didn't.
Well, I think there was a lot of
enjoy
people.
the joke, but a lot
well,
of people did, and
The
but that has
joke was that you would play the piano poorly, but you.
Oh, that's strong.
You.
That's a good. It's a
Well,
good
wait a second.
drink.
Is that real?
This is a real drink. It's a drink I made. I just happened to bring it because like I said, I brought one for the road. Before I got here.
And
It's a drink I made. I'm not here to promote it though.
okay. Great. I just noticed your.
That is unbelievably good and strong, and it packs a punch, and it's good. Like I'm already a bit buzzed. I have only had 2.5 sips.
Look at Matt is going like this over there.
I feel that thirsty.
I'm happy to. Yeah, I brought.
Come get some for Brett.
I brought a couple extras.
Well,
But look, I'm here to talk about the proliferation of anti-Semitism. I have another one. Yeah.
let me
One for everybody.
I'll just take a well. This is real.
It's a real drink. You can get it on online at I believe the jazzdaredevil.com.
Do you have a what? An ad?
I did.
All right.
I do have an ad.
Play.
But look, let's we don't have to sit
Did you
here.
give Bradley an ad for your?
Well, on the way in, we were chatting a little bit, and I had the drink in my hand, and I told Bradley about it, and Bradley was super psyched because he loves highballs and he loves whiskey.
That's good stuff.
And then Matt came over and was like, "I love whiskey and highballs too," and I'm like, "Well, that's so hilarious because." They did see the can. I told them all about it, and they were like super psyched.
None of what you just said was accurate. This is not. There's no like. You're making it like. First of all, I watched you come in.
I just happened to have extra in my bag.
But wait a second. I watched you come in. Matt and Bradley are just sitting at the desk. There's no like area where you were having this conversation. Did you set this up?
Well, I mean, I was having it like telepathically with them, I guess, in my head.
What?
But I thought, yes, Bradley and I were texting. That's what I meant.
Well, you were texting.
I have it all on text. I could show you Bradley and I's text about the highball.
And then you just texted that what? We're going to play this? What is it?
Well, no, then I just like sent him the link to the ad just because he was interested. And look, it has nothing to do with why I'm here. So I like this is like now you're.
I'm literally looking at an IM.
Now I feel like bad that you're getting off.
I'm looking at an IM from Bradley that says, I have the ad John wanted to play. Like I'm literally looking at it right now. I'm reading.
For our conversations. For our text conversations.
Wait, what?
About the whiskey highball.
Fine.
I mean, you don't have to, honestly, you don't.
I guess we're gonna. All right, go. You can. How do you?
Yeah, there it is. Whiskey highball, please. The Jazz Daredevil Whiskey Highball. Hand canned by me, the Jazz Daredevil. There you go. I mean, yeah. I'm sorry to get. I don't want to. This is your show. I don't want to get you off track. And yes, I'm like I said, I came here to talk about something else, but I just happened to bring.
Sorry to interject, but that actually is strong, flavorful, and does pack a punch.
It's good.
It really does. I am like I've had a quarter. I don't even know if I should be selling this.
So wait,
it's too strong. I'm a mess right now. And I got to get home.
You're selling this at what is it? The Jazz Daredevil. What is the
jazzdaredevil.com. It's a
Is this legal? Like, do you need a license for this?
to sell alcohol
Yeah.
in America. Yes. Do you buy alcohol?
But I mean, what credentials do you have to do this?
Well, I've made this in partnership from MCF Wines. They sourced the scotch. We tasted. I drank a lot, and then we canned it.
And did you? I mean, are you literally hand canning this?
I mean,
that's the claim in the ad. Was the biggest claim about it was not even whether it tasted good or that it was, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, pop this up on the thing. So we get there right here. Okay. Yeah. Pop it up.
yeah.
Pop it up so we can see it. And
We
then
don't have to like analyze the ad frame by frame. That's
Well, I'm not doing it frame by frame.
That's
I'm
for
just looking.
people-
It's hand canned. So are you hand canning this?
Yes.
You are
Yes.
personally.
I think so.
You think so?
I think I am. Yeah. I mean, I have.
What do you mean you have?
I mean, you saw him in the video there.
yeah, I saw that, but I mean, how do you like? I'm
I have a
looking
can.
at
I have a
this.
canner at home.
It's sealed.
It's not just me alone. I mean, it is hand canned. It's not just me. It's myself and some other people do it.
Hand can it.
Yes, we can it by hand. Sometimes I'm there. Sometimes I'm busy.
And where is this factory that you're hand canning this?
It's in New York.
It's in New York.
Yes.
Okay. And you go and hand can this, and how many, like, I mean, these are available to buy at the Jazz Devil.
I mean, honestly, the ad was a little bit of we were having fun with, like what ads do. Like, for instance, like when BP puts out an ad, they have fun with it. Like we're for clean energy and changing the world. So they're having
LOL.
fun. Yeah, they're having fun. And ads are supposed to be fun, and so part of it was that was a fun part of the ad, just in the same way I described how fun it is to watch like an oil company ad, or.
And so by fun, you mean lie.
Well, I don't mean lie, but lies are fun.
This does have
Everything else in it is true. Like, it's all true. It's a true product.
old veteran jazz man once told me, "Kid, you can't play." Mm-hmm. He was right. Enjoy my refreshing whiskey highball. That's the message you send to people.
Yeah, that's a personal message by the Jazz Daredevil to his audience and his fans.
Why are you talking about you in the third person?
It's a character I play.
And
like Larry the Cable Guy.
your character's like Larry the Cable Guy.
Yes, but remember, Larry the Cable Guy is real. But then Larry the Cable Guy made a movie called Larry the Cable Guy Health Inspector?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right.
I missed that.
What?
Yes. So Larry the Cable Guy is, technically,
Larry the Cable Guy
technically
became-
Larry the Cable Guy is a comedian. So if he were telling the full truth, it would be Larry the Comedian. But he says, I'm Larry the Cable Guy. But he's not a cable guy.
Nor a health inspector.
Yeah, or a health inspector. So then Larry the Cable Guy, when he made the movie, he was also not a cable guy, but a health inspector, but a comedian. Do you understand? So there are layers of what's happening.
Semiotics.
Semiotics.
It's like
I
Jeff-
see what
it's
you're
like
saying.
Jeff Dunn and his
And
puppet.
this has
Little bit.
16% alcohol. Is that right? That, yeah. Okay.
And
That
it's
makes
it's
that's-
definitely. I'm
it's
feeling
beginning
it.
to
I am
make
feeling
sense.
it. I'm feeling it.
Um,
Are you guys
now-
feeling it? Yeah.
So
It kicks in.
that raises an issue during the whole, like when you were doing this whole Jazz Daredevil thing, where you were really upsetting the musicians who were
Can I get some
ended up
water?
playing with you at the time.
I'm fine.
Were you drunk through that whole thing, or?
You mean when I did the album?
Yeah.
No.
Because
this
it
is not
sounds
all,
like
this is
it.
not
I mean,
all
it's
based
not.
on me drinking.
And this isn't the same. Like
I
so-
drink recreationally, and I am interested in whiskey, and that's how the conversation got started. When I started making this product.
And were you in your outfit when that conversation happened, or you just decided later to wear it for the thing? Like, were you walking around in your helmet and your one-piece leotard or whatever that was? And
Didn't you go to like a wedding in a mailman outfit once?
that happened. Yes.
Why?
I was under the impression that
Under the impression of alcohol?
no, I was under the impression that people were dressing up in that manner for the wedding, and it.
But you were the only person who dressed up at a wedding.
Ultimately, it turned out that I was. Nobody else was.
So are you?
Sam?
Huh?
Did someone tell you it was?
Yeah, was it like a costume party or a mailman dress up? What impression did you have?
There's no mailman dress up party.
The bride,
I mean, maybe there is.
the groom. The wedding was in the summer.
Right.
It was actually on July 4th, and
You go to all mailman
I
dress
asked,
up parties.
I asked the groom, like, what are we supposed to wear?
The dress
And
code was
he
postal
said that he claimed to me that his fiance wanted people to dress up, and I'm like, so like fancy, like black tie? And he's like, no, like in like a costume, like
Like
a
civil servants.
like a nun or a sailor or something like that. And I said, well, I have a postman's outfit, and I wore the postman's outfit. And when I got to the wedding, it turned out that no one had done that.
So are you a postman now? Like, are you a mailman? Do you still do it?
This is completely, I don't understand what the point you're making.
That is the point I'm making.
Well, you said that you like
I
whiskey.
put on a costume.
You know, I understand you put on a costume, but you're like, I like whiskey. And so I was having a conversation with somebody. So I decided to sell whiskey. And then,
Well,
like,
a
all
lot
of a sudden,
of companies do that. Like, I'm not saying I'm a company, but
well,
like,
a lot of companies, but they don't dress up in like an outfit.
but like Captain Morgan, do pirates make that?
Wait, do you think that
Do you think
actual
those are
Captain
real?
Morgan
Like
was,
those ads are real?
I'm
do
sorry.
You think that?
Do you think that Captain Morgan himself
Does the mailman
came in and
think
said
that
like,
the-
I'm going to make a rum?
Wait, what do you mean?
Like, it's not Captain Morgan himself doesn't own that company. He's just like like a picture on the thing. But it's your company.
Right.
So it's not the same thing.
Well, it's the Jazz Daredevils company, not my. I created the Jazz Daredevil.
The video is playing here, right? It's you. You're the Jazz Daredevil.
Well, just in the same fashion that you are a mailman at weddings.
What? I'm not saying that you dressed up as the Jazz Daredevil, but it's literally
There
on
was
the
no
can.
Jazz Daredevil
It says
before me.
the Jazz Daredevil whiskey highball, and there's a picture of you on there.
Yes.
And I'm just asking, why are you dressed this way on there if it was you, not the Jazz Daredevil that was having a conversation about whiskey? Does the Jazz Daredevil like whiskey?
Okay, I think that you're like an idiot a little bit.
I'm just asking a question. You're getting like super
I'm
sensitive,
not sensitive.
and
I'm
evasive
saying like
about
if
the
you
whole thing.
go to like, did you see Top Gun Maverick?
I did not,
Okay. Well, did you see Top Gun?
of course.
Yeah. If you saw Tom Cruise, would you be like, what would you say? Would you say, hey,
I would say,
would you be like,
Tom-
hey, Mr. Cruise, or would you be like, hey, Maverick?
no, I would say, Mr. Cruz, why did you put out a whiskey highball as Top Gun?
Well, if
Why is
they
it
put
called
out Top Gun whiskey,
Highball?
if they put out Top Gun whiskey, would you be like furious like you are now, incensed?
No.
Yeah, that
Not
they
furious or
use the
incensed. You're
Top
being
Gun
a little
franchise
flamboyant about
to
this.
sell
I'm just asking a question.
products
You
based
came
on
in,
Top Gun.
you didn't like my intro. You spent like 20 minutes of this whole interview. We haven't even talked about
Oh my God.
what's happening with anti-Semitism and how.
Well, I'm too
Nazis
drunk to
grew
talk
because
about
you
that now.
Just now bring in this stuff for everybody.
Me too, honestly.
In the ads. I'm going to finish the rest of the show because you've got the whole crew.
Well, it's fun. We're having fun. That's what I'm here for.
This is.
And I'm sorry that you're not having fun. I should have dressed as a postman and come here.
well, I
'Cause
mean-
then you would have been like, oh my God, this is like one of the parties I go to.
Well, it does appear that you've like dressed as like some type of like hunter or something. Like, are you going out to like what? Like honestly, like if I was
Well, I'm wearing a hat because
like, I mean, and the whole outfit looks like you have like a long rifle waiting over there. You got to go out to do some like rabbit hunting.
it's hunter chic. It's taking over New York fashion.
I have not seen anyone dress like that.
I mean, it's I'm on the cusp of what's going to happen.
I certainly hope not. I mean, that's. I
I mean, you go upstate, right?
Sure.
And there's
I know there's people who hunt up there.
Do you know people who dress like hunters who are not hunters?
I mean, not like over the top like you are.
You have a real problem with like understanding reality.
No, well, why you're bringing that up? I
Like
mean,
you take everything literally and then you're furious at it.
I'm not furious at anything.
There's
This
a
is
bit of irony in the Jazz Daredevil whiskey highball, and it's marketing. That's all.
Oh, all right. So this is just all about marketing. I had invited
No,
you
it's a
on
real
to talk
product.
about-
Everybody's completely like enjoying it.
Well, but that's my point. Is that you were supposed to come on to talk about anti-Semitism. And
I
the
know,
rise
and
of
then you, like,
Nazism,
totally-
and then you're like, oh, incidentally, and here's my whiskey highball. You can go to jazzdaredevil.com.
I mean, I didn't mean it.
jazzdaredevil.com to buy it. So what does that mean? Like people go there, you can they ship it.
They ship it. They'll ship it. It's available in some liquor stores in the New York area, and hopefully it will be available in liquor
So
stores.
I could literally go on the website right now and ship it to like California.
Again, incredulous about all the things that are normal in the world.
Our chat
right?
says it's available to ship to Indiana now. So that's
To
one thing I
Indiana?
could see. So
Yes, we definitely have had some problems shipping to certain states because of liquor laws.
So you're run afoul of the law.
No, we're not shipping there if we can't by law.
Is
but
this
we are
legal?
shipping.
What you're doing?
We are shipping to the places that are legal to sell by law. But yes, shipping has been a problem, as you point out, to certain states. Certain states don't allow. I don't even know the laws, and they seem very
Well, that's certainly that's certainly no defense. I can tell you that right now.
They seem
That's
pretty-
not going to cut it with the.
I mean, if you live, Indiana does not. Is that what you look?
No,
Someone
somebody
just said
said
that it's.
Indiana does. Will take orders. So
It says it's super expensive to ship it. So what do you need? Like, what can
I
people
know.
go and tell their local liquor store to get it?
That would be good. If people start a campaign to go to their local liquor store, that would be the best way to get it to certain states, and to avoid paying the exorbitant shipping.
Wow, this is just bizarre.
I mean, I think it's great.
Okay.
I mean, I'm actually like super happy that we didn't have to talk about the proliferation of anti-Semitism in America right now. I'm thrilled that we didn't have to do that. I think it's a relief.
I didn't think that was the topic. I never thought that.
I'm sorry if I missed. I mean, I think there was definitely miscommunication between communications with you and with Bradley,
Right.
and maybe that was my fault. I may have like texting Bradley.
We cut out the middleman. I just thought we were doing highball stuff today.
You thought we were you knew we were doing highball
Yeah,
stuff
I
today?
just figured we were doing.
Well, Bradley, I
It's in
thought
the-
I mentioned.
Ate a big
I did
breakfast.
definitely mention the highball, and I definitely talked to you about the anti-Semitism stuff, which I absolutely
Just think
am
it
aware
was-
of and care about, and I think it just got crossed. And then I don't know. I don't know what happened, but this is delicious.
It is.
Amy says, is there a majority report discount code for the Jazz Daredevil highballs?
I think that we'll figure that out. We could figure that out, right, Bradley?
We can definitely figure it out.
I don't want to. I don't want to throw Bradley under the bus for what, like
Oh,
this,
you have.
this little side deal, but we never made. I didn't. Yeah,
Let's talk after the shows.
That's not what happened.
All right. Well,
I don't want to get Bradley in trouble. Maybe I wrote Bradley something different than I wrote you.
It's possible.
yeah, sounds like it.
I don't- I'd have
This
to go
is-
back into my text.
This is an interesting thing that you've got going here. I mean, I imagine it's going to be a little bit difficult for
arguably a great product. Arguably.
a great product, I guess. Also, I would say maybe traumatic for the genuine artists who worked with you on your jazz album. And this is probably just ripping open some wounds that had maybe begun to cauterize a little bit after you hoodwinked them. But I can see how,
Did not hoodwink.
you know, when I was watching
Bradley did.
the documentary on the Jazz Daredevil,
What do you mean the documentary?
well, there was a video associated with the making of your album.
Yep.
And I wondered, how is it that these musicians could get hoodwinked into something like this?
Why?
And
why do you
now-
think they got hoodwinked? Why would you think that?
Well,
That
they
seems
all,
very conspiratorial.
in the they were interviewed, and they all expressed a lot of regret that they didn't realize that you didn't know how to play the piano when you contracted them to cut an album. And on some level, I now understand how that happened.
Are you besmirching my creative freedom?
No, your integrity.
No.
I'm besmirching your integrity.
They did know what they were doing when they went into it. They did know that I couldn't play piano.
I don't know that I believe that. It certainly didn't come across when they were on camera saying that. It really does feel like this is the way you operate in the world. Let's talk about anti-Semitism. Oh, and incidentally, here's my whiskey highball available at the jazzdaredevil.com.
That was just an unfortunate snafu, I think, that happened.
Purely incidental.
Yes. And it only happened because I brought it, and I didn't
irresistible.
I didn't necessarily bring it for this purpose. I brought one to drink on the road, and then this happened.
You brought one to drink on the road.
Well, yeah, on the subway.
With a paper bag.
Nobody cares anymore what people are doing.
Yeah,
on
it's like
this.
an energy drink. Kind of is.
Well, I guess that's like the post-COVID things. Well,
But I apologize for the confusion, and I'm sorry we got off topic. But it ended up being a really good opportunity to present my new product, which is obviously not why I came here, but it did turn out to be, I think, nice to share it with your crew, because I assume you don't share a lot with your crew. And I think that's good. It was a good experience.
great,
Yeah.
great. Well,
And I obviously I didn't mean in any way or in any fashion to, for this to be a boondoggle.
well, sometimes best laid plans, right? John Benjamin, proprietor, I guess, of the Jazz Daredevil Whiskey Highball. Available at the jazzdaredevil.com.
And we'll work out a coupon code for the Majority Report.
Great.
That would be wonderful, I think.
That would be great. That would really be great. And also the guy from those...
That would make this all
Tunes.
full circle, like this whole appearance. That would make it work out great.
We'll be in touch, Sam.
You know,
Excuse me?
Bradley may or may not get a royalty on all sales, but that's for Bradley and I later to
Yeah,
discuss.
we'll figure it out.
John Benjamin, thanks so much for your time today.
Thank
I
you.
will try this after the show.
Thanks for having me. Sorry about the
All of it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.